idea, okay? Who can tell me what main idea is? Josiah.
The main idea of it's what, like say about a text, it's what the whole text is meaning about it. Like what's the main idea of it?
Like the big topic of the story. So I'm gonna show you these items and you're gonna tell me what you think I'm gonna do with them. What's the main idea of these items, okay? So I have a pair of sunglasses, okay? Let me show you all the items first, okay, and then you can tell me, okay? So we have sunglasses. I have a passport, okay? I have a hat. I have sunscreen. And I have keys. Okay. Can somebody raise their hand? I'm going to choose a few of you, okay? You're going to tell me what you think the main idea is. Yes, ma'am.
I think the main idea of these items is like you're gonna go to the beach or something.
You think I'm going to go to the beach? That's a good idea. Josiah.
You might be going out of the state because you need a passport to invite to like Hawaii or something.
Yeah, so you think I'm going to travel? Okay, back here in the pink.
You're going on a vacation.
I'm going to go on a vacation. Okay, well, let's see if you guys are right. Raise your hand if you guys agree that I'm going to go to the beach. Okay, how about vacation? All right, so
agree with that.
what is in my bag? I wrote a list of what I had in my bag, okay? And I think you guys were all correct because look at the descriptive sentences I wrote. So sentence 1, I need to use my sunscreen for the beach so I don't burn. Sentence 2, the hat and sunglasses will protect my face from the sun. And sentence 3, I cannot forget my keys and passport or I will never make my flight. So do you think you guys were all correct in guessing the main idea? You guys did a good job. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do today is I'm going to read you this book, The True Story of the Three Little Pigs. Raise your hand if you've ever read this. All right, and if you haven't, that's okay because we're going to read it to you today, okay? So eyes and ears up here so you don't miss any details, okay? Everybody knows the story of the Three Little Pigs, or at least they think they do. But I'll let you in on a little secret. Nobody knows the real story. Because nobody has ever heard my side of the story. What do you think is going to talk?
The wolf.
Big wolf.
You can take off down your mask.
All right, I am the wolf, Alexander T. Wolf. You can call me Al. I don't know how the whole big bad wolf thing got started, but it's all wrong. Maybe it's because of our diet. Hey, it's not my fault wolves eat cute little animals like bunnies, sheeps, and pigs. That's just the way we are. If cheeseburgers were cute, folks would probably think you were big and bad too. But like I was saying, the whole big bad wolf thing is all wrong. The real story is about a sneeze and a cup. This is the real story. Way back in Once Upon a Time, I was making a birthday cake for my dear old granny. I had a terrible sneezing cold, and I ran out of sugar. So I walked down the street to ask my neighbor for a cup of sugar. Now this neighbor was a pig, and he wasn't too bright either. He had built his whole house out of straw. Can you believe it? I mean, who in their right mind would build a house out of straw? So of course, the minute I knocked on the door, it fell right in. I didn't want to just walk into someone else's house. So I called, little pig, are you in? No answer. I was just about to go home with a cup of sugar for my dear granny's birthday. That's when my nose started to itch. I felt a sneeze coming well, I huffed and I puffed. What happens next?
He blew the house down.
He blew the house down. And I sneezed a great sneeze. Oh. And you know what? The whole darn straw house fell down. And right in the middle of the pile of straw was the first little pig, dead as a doornail. He had been home the whole time. It seemed like a shame to leave a perfectly good ham dinner lying there in the straw, so I ate it up. Think of it as a big cheeseburger just lying there. I was feeling a little better, but I didn't have my cup of sugar, so I went to the next door's neighbor's house. The neighbor was the first little pig's brother. He was a little smarter, but not by much. He built his house out of sticks. I rang the bell on the stick house. Nobody answered. I called Mr. Pig. Mr. Pig, are you in? He yelled, go away, Wolf, you can't come in. I'm shaving the hairs on my chinny chin chin. I just grabbed the doorknob when I felt another sneeze coming on. I huffed and I snuffed and I tried to cover my mouth, but I sneezed a great sneeze. And you're not going to believe it, but this guy's house fell down just like his brother's. When the dust cleared, there was a second little pig, dead as a doornail. Wolf's honor. Now, you know food will spoil if I just leave it out in the open. So I did the only thing there was to do. I had dinner again. Think of it as a second helping. I was getting awfully full, but my cold was feeling a little better, and I still didn't have a cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. So I went to the next house. This guy was the first and second little pig's brother. He must have been the brains of the family because he built his house out of bricks. I knocked on the brick house, no answer. I called Mr. Pig, Mr. Pig, are you in? And you know what that rude little porker answered? Get out of here, Wolf, don't bother me again. Talk about being impolite. He probably had a whole sack full of sugar and he wouldn't even give me one little cup for my dear sweet old granny's birthday cake. What a pig. I was just about to go home and maybe make a nice birthday card instead of a cake, but I felt my cold coming on. I snuffed and I sneezed once again. The third little pig yelled, and your granny can sit on a pin. He's not being very nice, is he? Now, I'm usually a pretty calm fellow, but when somebody talks about my granny like that, I go a little crazy. When the cops drove up, of course I was trying to break down the pig's door, and the whole time I was huffing and puffing and sneezing and making a real scene. The news reports found out the 2 pigs I had for dinner. They figured a sick guy going to borrow a cup of sugar didn't sound very exciting. So they jazzed up the story and all that. Huff and puff, blow your house down, and they made me a big bad wolf. That's it, the real story. I was framed. But maybe you could loan me a cup of sugar. All right, so now we're going to discuss what you guys think the main idea of this story is. Okay, I'm going to take 2 volunteers to tell me what they think the main idea is. Austin.
The wolf?
What about the wolf? What do you think the main idea was?
The wolf was telling the story, and all he wanted was a cup of sugar.
All he wanted was a cup of sugar. How about somebody else? I appreciate you volunteering, Josiah. Go right ahead.
The main idea of the story is how the big bad wolf was said he's being framed, and how he was looking for a cup of sugar, and mostly he was trying to tell a story how he wasn't really the big bad wolf.
Good job. All right, can somebody tell me what some descriptors are, like supporting details? Yes, ma'am.
A surprising detail is that he didn't really mean to blow the houses down.
Right, it was an accident, wasn't it?
Yeah.
All right, do you have a supporting detail for me, bud? He didn't mean to, like, he wasn't going to eat the pigs on purpose, right? Okay, so let's see if you guys were. Story of the 3 little pigs. My main idea that I came up with was just like yours. The wolf was innocent and he just wanted to borrow a cup of sugar. Okay? One supporting detail I came up with was it was Granny's birthday and the wolf was baking her a cake. That's what started this whole thing, wasn't it? Right? And the second detail is the wolf had the sniffles from a cold. And that's what caused all this trouble, didn't it? Yeah. And my last supporting detail was he knocked on every pig's door to borrow sugar and he sneezed. All right. So here's a fun activity I have for you guys today, okay? You're going to be in your group partners. So you boys over here are going to come to this table, okay? You two? And so there's going to be 4 groups, okay? I am going to hand you each a bag, okay? And it says, what's in my bag? You don't know what's in your bag yet, okay? But you're going to go through it together as a group, okay? And you're going to decide how you're going to fill out your what's in my bag paper, okay? Here on this, you're going to put what you think the main idea, just like we did with my bag, okay? You're going to do the same thing with your bag and put what you think the main idea is. And then you're going to give 3 supporting details, okay? And then you're going to summarize your details. Put them in a couple sentences, okay?
We haven't even made a verse about what we're writing. Let's make a D this way. The D with a doctor. No, I'm just
Yeah. So 3
it showed us turkey, pumpkin pie. Now we eat turkey. Turkey because two stuff. Wait, Thanksgiving. Yeah, but this and this are turkey.
And if you guys need, or if you're confused about what you're doing, just use these as examples, okay?
Mass check. So here's all of the photos that
Thanks, Judy. You've been sitting there for 3 hours watching playing Fortnite. You were saying you were watching it while playing Fortnite.
Hey, sis, you guys need to focus over there. I don't know why we're talking about Fortnite.
All right, those of you that are not done, just keep on writing. We're gonna have a couple volunteers that are done to share what they wrote and came up with. Okay, come on up. All right. Turn around and face your class and share with us. I'll just hold it right here. You can just read what your main idea. So what was your main idea?
Thanks, Judy.
All right. And how about you read us your summary?
We need to use the rolling pin to make the pie, then we'll have a delicious feast, then we put on our coat and put on the leaf.
All right, you guys did awesome. All right, I'll take one more volunteer. Yes, sir. Come on up.
Wait, that one is the team. Yeah, but he.
Oh, you guys all did the same?
Yeah.
Oh, do you have a different one than him? Yeah. Okay, come on up. All right. So, what was your main idea?
Thanksgiving.
Will you read us your summary?
We need the rolling pin to make pie, then the pilgrims celebrate. Then eat turkey and put on your coat and play the leaves.
Awesome. Good job. Okay.
I don't like mine.
No, it was different. But if you want to come up, I can let you do it.
Just so I don't. Owie.
Yeah.
I'll take one more volunteer since you guys. Come on up.
I'll just go over the
That's okay. You can just summarize what you wrote up here, okay? So what was your main idea?
The main idea was Thanksgiving.
All right. And Josiah, will you read us your sentences?
The supporting detail is it's so turkey because when you eat turkey during Thanksgiving, it's mostly the second supporting detail is a coat. You need a coat because in the month of Thanksgiving it is chilly. And the last supporting detail is the leaves fall because in the fall leaves fall.
All right, give yourselves a round of applause. You guys did awesome.